Hello children, I hope you are fit and healthy and keeping safe at home. Myself Divya Sharma from Shivjyoti Educational Group Kota. Children, today we are going to study chapter 7 in social science. So take out your books Getting Ahead in Social Studies, chapter number 7 and page number 45. Children, in this chapter, you will come across the land and climate of Saudi Arabia, its vegetation and crops, its people and religious importance. Children, now why Saudi Arabia is called the land of hot sands? Because most of the Saudi Arabia is covered with high rocky plateaus and vast deserts. Now, we'll start with the explanation of the chapter. Saudi Arabia is a large country which is situated in the Arabian Peninsula. As you can see in the map also which is given in your book, you can see Saudi Arabia is a country which is situated in the Arabian Peninsula, and peninsula you have learnt it is surrounded by water on 3 sides. So you can see over here in the map it is surrounded by Red Sea, Arabian Sea and the Persian Gulf. And the capital of Saudi Arabia is Riyadh. Now, Arabian Peninsula is the largest peninsula in the world. It lies between the Red Sea on the west and Persian Gulf on the east. You can see in the map that towards the west it is Red Sea and towards the east it is surrounded by the Persian Gulf. Over here you can write down the internal question, that is, which is the largest peninsula in the world, and the answer will be Arabian Peninsula. Arabian Peninsula, you can mark over here, the Arabian Peninsula is the largest peninsula in the world. Now, we will talk about the land of Saudi Arabia. As we learnt that most of the Saudi Arabia has a high rocky plateau which is covered by the vast desert, and over here in these desert area you will find sand dunes and oases. Okay. Now sand dunes are small hills of sand. Small hills of sand are called sand dunes, and oasis is an area where you can find little vegetation as the underground water comes up to the surface. So you will find over here little bit of vegetation. Otherwise in desert you will not find any vegetation. I will show you through picture. See, these are sand dunes. You can see small hills of sand, and they are not permanent at a place. They keep on moving due to the winds. Due to the dust storms, they keep on moving and settling and making small hills of sand. Here you can see oasis. You can see over here the underground water over here has come up, and you can find over here little bit of vegetation. You can see because of water the land gets fertile, and there you can find little bit of vegetation. Okay, so this is oasis. Now, we'll see the climate of Saudi Arabia. As we know that the Tropic of Cancer passes through Saudi Arabia, which makes the climate of the place very hot and dry, and the country gets very little rainfall, and the humidity is also very low, and the sun shines brightly throughout the year. And we have learnt in the previous chapter, that is climate, that these all conditions are suitable for the formation of a desert. Okay, and we see the nights are cool as the sand gets cool very fast at night, and during winters it is extremely cold. The nights are extremely cold. Okay. Now, we will see, you can have a look at this map. We can see that the Tropic of Cancer passes through Saudi Arabia. This is Saudi Arabia, which makes the climate of a place very hot and dry. Okay. Now, we will see the vegetation of the place. As you know that it is all desert area, we will find very less vegetation and very few plants can grow. Some of the plants are cacti and some short shrubs which can bear the extreme hot weather of the place. But wherever you find the formation of the oasis, wherever you can find these oases, over there the land becomes fertile and you can see the growth of date palms and some crops such as wheat and barley, which you can see can be grown near the places. Okay. Now we will talk about the people of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a very rich country because of its vast deposits of natural resource, that is petroleum, and the country has used this natural resource very wisely. By selling this petroleum, they have built two modern cities, that is Riyadh and Jeddah. Okay, and the people over here have very high standards of living. But what is this, that though the cities are modern, but the society follows some traditions, okay, some customs they follow, like whenever the women step out from the house, they have to wear abaya. Now this is an abaya, a long black dress which is worn by the women of Saudi Arabia, which leaves only their eyes exposed. They cannot step out from the house without wearing this abaya. And for men, this is a white loose fitting thobe. This is called a thobe, and it covers their head also with a ring. Okay, this is worn by the men of Saudi Arabia, that is thobe, and abaya is worn by the women of Saudi Arabia. Over here you have internal question, you can write down, that is internal question number 2. Internal question 2, what is an abaya? And you can mark the answer over here, that it is a black dress that is worn by women that leaves only their eyes exposed. There are some changes in the framing. A black dress that is worn by the women which leaves only their eyes exposed. So this is internal question number 2. Now we will talk about Now we will talk about the nomads of Saudi Arabia. Those nomads are called Bedouins, and we have learned that nomads are people who wander from place to place in search of food and shelter, and the nomads of Saudi Arabia are called Bedouins, and their main occupation is rearing cattle. Rearing means raising the animals which you keep as pets. Okay. They move from place to place in search of pastures for their flocks of goats, sheep and camel. Pasture is a land which is covered by grass which is used for grazing of animals. Okay. Now these Bedouins, they live in tents made of animal skins, and how do they earn their living? By selling the animal products at marketplaces in the villages, and then they buy for themselves food, grains, dates and other things. And the lifestyle of Bedouins is changing now. More and more of them have now settled down in proper places, and they use jeeps and cars for moving around. Now we look at the industry. Okay. Several large industries have been set up in Saudi Arabia using the money which they have earned by selling petroleum. Some of these industries are, you can mark it in your book as well. Some of these are petroleum refining, iron and steel, cement and fertilizers. Here you have internal question number 3. Name the industries set up in Saudi Arabia. Internal question number 3. Name the industries. Name the industries set up in Saudi Arabia. You can mark the answer over here. Some of these are petroleum refining, iron and steel, cement and fertilizers. Now if we talk about the religious importance of the place, First, this line is to be marked. The religion Islam was founded in Saudi Arabia by Prophet Muhammad. Islam religion was founded by Prophet Muhammad, and two of the most important pilgrim centers of the Muslims is Mecca and Medina. You must have heard that Muslims go for a Hajj. They visit these places Mecca and Medina, which have a religious importance. Okay. And Saudi Arabia is an excellent example of hot and barren desert that has changed into a rich and prosperous land. Now we can see that Saudi Arabia has become an excellent example, though it is a hot and barren desert. But how they have used this natural resource, that is petroleum, to make the country rich and turn it into a prosperous land. The government of Saudi Arabia has used the natural resource found in the country very intelligently to benefit the people. This was all about the explanation of the chapter, children. Read the chapter. Now I will discuss the book work with you all. Exercise question A, that is write true for true and F for false sentences. First is Saudi Arabia has a temperate climate as most of it lies in the temperate zone. We learned that Tropic of Cancer passes through Saudi Arabia, so this statement is false. Okay, it does not have a temperate climate. Most people in Saudi Arabia are nomads. That is false, because now nomads have also started settling down at proper places. Nights in Saudi Arabia are hot. The statement is false, as the nights are very cool because the sand cools down faster. Sand dunes are hills of sand that remain fixed in their places. Again, the statement is false. They do not remain fixed. Due to the blowing winds, they keep on shifting and making small hills of sand. In an oasis, underground water comes up to the surface. The statement is true. The main income of Saudi Arabia comes from petroleum. That is true, because it is a natural resource which is found in large deposits over there. Okay. Saudi Arabia has a very modern society. False, it has a traditional society because they follow certain customs. Okay. Now we will move on to question number B, that is give one word answers for the following. The capital of Saudi Arabia, that is Riyadh. Hills of sand that keep shifting because of strong winds are sand dunes. These are small hills of sand that keep on shifting. Nomads of Saudi Arabia, we learnt they are called Bedouins. The most important pilgrim center of the Muslims, that is Mecca. The main natural resource of Saudi Arabia is petroleum. Now I will discuss multiple choice questions. Saudi Arabia lies partly in the tropical zone and partly in the temperate zone. Its climate can be best described as hot and dry. So C is the correct answer. Saudi Arabia is a rich country because it has large deposits of petroleum which are exported. It has very large deposits of petroleum, so which has made the country very, very rich. The official religion of Saudi Arabia is Islam. Option B is the correct answer. Which of these is an important pilgrim center for Muslims? That is Mecca. Option number B is the correct answer. Now I will discuss the copy work with you all. First we will discuss what is a peninsula and an oasis. Peninsula, as we learnt, a peninsula is a piece of land jutting out into the sea and is surrounded by water on three sides. So peninsula is a piece of land that is surrounded by water on three sides. Oasis, fertile land formed in the desert by underground water that comes to the surface. We learn that whenever the underground water comes up to the surface, it is the formation of oasis where you can find little bit of vegetation. Now question 2 is describe the climate of Saudi Arabia. The climate of Saudi Arabia is hot and dry because the Tropic of Cancer passes through it, which makes the climate very hot and dry. It gets very little rainfall and humidity is very low. Here the days are hot and nights are cool. We learnt in the chapter climate that in the desert regions the humidity is very low. What kinds of plants grow in the deserts of Saudi Arabia? As you know that over there vegetation, plants which can withstand in the hot and dry climate can only grow in Saudi Arabia, like cacti, some short shrubs, date palms, wheat and barley are also grown in the oasis. As the climate is hot and dry, it is completely desert area, so plants which can withstand the extreme hot and dry climate, that is cacti and some short shrubs, you will find over there, and where you have the formation of oasis, you will find the plantation of date palms, wheat and barley. Now question 4, why is Saudi Arabia important for the Muslims of the world? Mecca and Medina, the most important pilgrim center of the Muslims, is located in Saudi Arabia. We came across that these two important pilgrim centers are located over there. That is why Saudi Arabia is very important for the Muslims of the world. Muslims for all over the world come to visit these holy places. Now question number 5 is, what is the importance of oasis for the people living in the desert regions of Saudi Arabia? Oases are important for people in the desert because they are a source of underground water that comes to the surface and forms fertile areas. We learned that when the underground water comes up to the surface, which makes the land very fertile, and there you can have small vegetation, and it is also a main source of water for humans and cattle. That is why oases are very important for the people living in the desert regions of Saudi Arabia. Question number 6 is, why is Saudi Arabia such a rich country? Saudi Arabia is very rich because of the vast deposits of petroleum. Petroleum is exported all over the world, making Saudi Arabia a rich country. As we learned that this natural resource is found in vast deposit in Saudi Arabia, which makes the country very rich, and this petroleum is exported all over the world. Question number 7 is, who are Bedouins? The nomads of Saudi Arabia are called Bedouins. They move from place to place in search of pastures for their flocks of sheep, camel and goats. Now the nomadic people of Saudi Arabia are called Bedouins, and they move from place to place in search of pastures for their flock of sheep, camels and goats. Question number 8. How did Bedouins traditionally earn their living? Now how do these Bedouins earn their living? Bedouins sell animals and their products at marketplaces in villages and buy food, grains, dates and other things. They earn their livelihood by selling the animal products at marketplaces in villages, and then they buy food, grains, dates for themselves. So children, this was all about the book work and the copy work. Do read the chapter, write down the internal questions in the book and do your copy work very neatly. Thank you.